Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Chaos Child, and we are just continuing, talking to Kudusu about our lost phone, which is kind of touching. He wants to get his phone back, because, his dad gave it to him, and it's lovely. So, anyway, my phone was stolen that night. Now it was in the hands of a mysterious girl who was either connected to the killer, or maybe the killer herself. I didn't know. But given what I'd seen so far, there was no way she wasn't connected somehow. So I had to get it back no matter what. That's not... I have to. It's got the newspaper club's data on it and information about this place too. If someone sees it...
Data? You mean our contact info and the results of our research, nothing else, right? And you said it was locked.
Yeah, but it's still possible that something could happen. If there really were psychic powers, someone might have a way to get the data off of it. And then something terrible might happen. Huh? Suddenly the lights went off and the room was plunged into darkness. The darkness was so sudden that my eyes didn't have time to adjust. I could barely see anything. Kudusu, what's wrong? But even though she was right in front of me a second ago, she didn't answer. There was only the silent darkness. Kudusu, answer me! Where did you go?
No, Kurusu isn't here. I killed her already.
Ugh! Suddenly a voice came from the darkness. I turned toward it and I saw a small shadow standing there.
Takuro Miyashiro, right?
Who are you? I gotta give her a cuter,
A stupid question. If you hadn't gotten involved, you wouldn't have had to die.
I'll figure it out. Her hands were filled with knives. The silver blade shone with a bloody crimson light. No, it wasn't just the light that looked like blood. There was a liquid dripping down from it that looked just like... No, that's not it. That's blood. Real blood.
That's right, it's blood. I told you. I killed Nono Kurusu.
The girl with the knives pointed to a corner in the darkness and grinned. I saw the silhouette of something that looked like a head. It was rolling on the ground. Kurusu! Kurusu!
It's too late for regrets, Takuro Miyashiro. This is all your fault.
She smiled and started to walk toward me. Run! Yui! Yuto! Dad! I screamed out into the hallway, but there was no answer. I heard nobody call back to me.
Oh, it's useless. Your little sister, your brother, your dad. I killed them all.
Huh?
You're all that's left. Now, die.
Ugh! That's funny because we just had a thing and I didn't have to pick positive or negative. He just had it. So I wonder if that just always happens or we, controlling the premonitions led to that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Takuru, what's wrong? Takuru!
Huh? I suddenly found myself back in Kurusu's room. She was reaching a hand out toward me, concerned. She'd been stabbed because of me, but she wasn't dead. She was alive. It was just a delusion. I wiped the sweat off my forehead and told Kurusu over and over again that I was just fine. Our power is delusions. Which kind of suck, because they don't actually... I mean, they kind of do lead the story, but, that's our magic ability. That's our psychic ability. I have delusions. Here's the funny thing. So we didn't make you psychic. That just means you have an imagination like the rest of us who do that have those Scrubs moments where we're like, shrink! Off in my head, imagining things. Sometimes they're terrible. Sometimes they're amazing. Just because you have a fantasy land doesn't mean that you have magic powers. But that delusion was... If I wasn't careful, it might become real. The data on the smartphone was too dangerous. Of course, that wasn't the only reason I wanted it back. Because it had the photo, the picture. Aww. The picture we'd taken together. I hadn't told Caruso, and I never would, but that was my one precious memory. The only one I had. That's why I hadn't even made a backup. If I did, it felt like it wouldn't be as special anymore. It was a picture of my family. Back when I still considered them my family. Back when things were fun. It was the one thing I owned that I really cared about. Oh, we're a sentimental nerd. Like, look, we're a little bit of an asshole, and we're definitely a nerd, but like, the little sentiment, aww. We're a good boy, even though we're an ass. Like, anyway, I need to get it back, no matter what. I love the fact that he's trying to be all macho. He's like, I'm not going to tell her that photo means something to me. Instead of just being like, I have to get it back because that photo's there and it means something to me. And listen to me. Shut up, bitch. I'm getting it back. I gripped Caruso's hand softly for a second and headed for the door. Taku! She tried to get up from the bed and buckled over from the pain. Don't fall for it! I wanted to run back and help her. Don't! I wanted to run over, get her back into bed, call Dad. That's what I wanted to do. But if I went back now, she probably wouldn't let me go. Good boy, because that's totes true. Exactly. So I left the room and closed the door without looking back. She's like, "Oh, asshole!" I mean, Takuru! I could hear a voice on the other side of the door. It stung a little.
Brother Takuru? I just heard Big Sis Nono's voice.
Her wound may have opened again. Call Dad right away.
Oh, okay, Brother Takuru, where are you going?
I have something I have to do.
What? You can't just leave? Stay with Big Sis Nono. Hey, wait! Brother Takuru!
Don't call me Brother Takuru, because it makes it sound like we're in a cult. I ignored Yui's angry yells and ran out the door. To get back what was important to me. I had to go back there, to A.H. Tokyo General Hospital. See, it's a good thing we stopped when we did last time, because that would have been like an extra 10 minutes. Like, not quite, but whatever. October 10th, 2015, Saturday. Caruso stared silently at the closed door, sorry. Her heart was filled with regret. She should have tried harder to stop him. She should have ignored the wound in her stomach and clung to him harder. Fortunately, the wound didn't seem to have opened. In that instant, her father, Sakuma's words had come back to her. If you push yourself too hard and that wound opens again, it might leave a scar. His words had stopped her. It might leave a scar anyway, she got stabbed. And Takuro Miyashiro had left. In the end, maybe she only cared about herself. It was true that she didn't want to lose her family, but no.
Don't go near that hospital.
She picked up the smartphone that had fallen to the floor when she'd stumbled out of bed. She opened the screen with trembling hands. On the screen was the same picture. Aw. That's her friend that died, right? Kodomomomo? Kodomomomo? What is the C?
Sorry I'm late.
Oh. So it's just no. I thought schoolboy, I was thinking it's a kid, and I'm like, why is a kid out this late? Never mind. Sorry I'm late. Ito saw us from across the street and ran over. Oh, so that was supposed to be Ito? It said schoolboy. Why couldn't it just say Ito? Anyway, sorry. No, just your voice. Oh, sorry. Ito quickly lowered his voice. I'm sorry for dragging you out here at this hour.
No, we're friends, right?
And if I let you go alone and something happened, the Empress would kill me. Probably true. When I heard the word Empress, I remembered how desperately Caruso had tried to stop me. I shook my head a little to drive the image out of my mind. After I'd left yesterday, I'd gone straight to A.H. Tokyo General Hospital. This time I wouldn't be able to just blunder in like I had when I'd snuck into the psych ward. I'd spent a whole night looking at the locations of the ER entrance and emergency exits, as well as the security system. And then I'd spent today pretending to be visiting a patient when I'd scouted the inside, and in the evening headed to Serica's house. I wanted to do it alone, but I'd realized that it would be too dangerous. I needed a partner who could contact Shinjo immediately if something happened, and the only two people I could ask were Serica and Ito. I hope we can get it back. I don't know if they got anything to do with the killer. We can't let them keep it. Yeah, we got that weird message, too. Don't make me remember. It still scares me. I canceled my phone contract immediately, but somehow it had called Ito. That had scared the hell out of me. And unlike older cell phones, a smartphone was filled with personal information. There was no way I could let them keep it.
And it's got something important on it, too.
What does?
It's not good to lie, I think. And you should try to make Non happy since she's hurt.
Well, that's just like you, though. Sorry. Okay, let's go. According to the data you gathered, it's about time for the guards to change shifts. Yeah.
Ow! Why are your toenails so sharp? Trim your toenails, they're too sharp. They dig into my neck and they hurt. Your sharp little toes, I love you, but they're too sharp. The doctor man lied when he said all those toys, all those perches would help you keep your toes trim. He lied. Your toenails are so fucking sharp, like little needles jabbing in my neck. But I love you.
We nodded to each other and jogged along the wall surrounding AH Tokyo General Hospital. Ugh. Little stabby needles walking all over me. So far, so good. Actually, this is better than I expected. Ito was right. Getting into the hospital had proved easier than planned. Ow. A big part of it was that I'd memorized the way in, but the biggest advantage we had was that the rear staff entrance was unlocked for some reason. If that had been locked, we would have had to go through the ER entrance. That would mean we'd probably be caught by the staff, but just as I was starting to worry, Serica turned the doorknob and told me that it was unlocked. The door was unlocked again. Just like before, huh? Oh, that's right. We have we have delusions and door unlocking abilities. The door unlocking ability seems like it'd be a little bit better, to be honest. It'd make you a really great thief. Like, I really didn't break and enter. I opened and entered. It's a totally different officer. But I mean, it's better than I have delusions. Well, or I have weird fantasies. Yes, so does everyone. That's not special. So I'm just saying. I suddenly remembered what had happened when I first snuck into the psych ward and almost stopped for a second to think. But then I drove the idea from my mind. I needed to focus on getting the phone right now. And why would you think they're still floating around the hospital with it? It's been like 2 days. It was nighttime at the hospital, and this wasn't a ward where patients were kept. The lobby was pitch dark. Sometimes I could hear strange, unpleasant sounds, like two pieces of metal touching. We dropped low and tried to move quietly. Someone could spot us at any moment. It was the middle of autumn, and I could still feel cold sweat running down my back. The question is where the phone actually is, right? Yeah. That girl was definitely the one who picked it up, which meant that finding her would be the fastest way, but I had no way of knowing where she was. Well, that doesn't mean we can search the whole hospital from top to bottom. Where were we when we ran into her last time? I retraced our steps on that day. First we'd hidden in the bathroom, and then we went to the psych ward. That's where we'd seen the sumo stickers drawn on the walls in blood. Does that mean we need to head there first? No, I don't think we need to go that far. And I didn't want to go back there. When we escaped from the hospital ward, we used the emergency stairs. We went all the way to the bottom, which is where I dropped my phone and she picked it up. Which means we needed to go to the emergency stairs? Which ones? Well, I was in such a hurry to get out of there that I don't really remember. I hadn't been able to remember when I'd been scouting the place out this afternoon either. I think it's that one, maybe. Serica started to move forward, looking around as she walked. Do you remember? No, it's just a hunch, but... Serica walked forward hesitantly. Serica's magical dog tracking ability. She's like a dog. Wait, doors only unlock around her. Maybe she has door locking abilities. Oh my god, is she gonna die? We followed. I won't like that. Don't kill Serica. Here? Maybe not. No, it might have been. There was a steel door to the emergency stairs in front of us. I turned the knob and softly pushed it. I'm just kidding. It was a little heavy, but it opened without catching on anything. I mean, emergency stairs should be open, but except for in the psych ward, I understand that. But this one wasn't locked either, evidently. Yeah, it shouldn't be. They're emergency stairs to get out in an emergency. Like, wait, the emergency stairs are locked. They might unlock in case of an emergency, but like some emergency doors are locked, and if you open them, sirens go off or whatever, but the emergency stairs stretched up and down, illuminated by the cold fluorescent lights. But even in a hospital, they're gonna have stairs, like stairwells and stuff, because and not just elevators, so you would think the doors wouldn't be locked. But I don't know. I don't know how hospitals run things. As I stared at them, I realized that I remembered coming down these stairs. Well, these stairs look so familiar. I bet they all look the same, though. Yeah, this is probably the place. You're amazing, Onoe. I got a compliment. Serica grinned. Okay, let's go. Yeah. We carefully walked down the dimly lit staircase. I started to get more and more nervous. Even if I'd done my homework before I'd come here, wasn't this even easier than last time? Maybe we're being led into a trap. Maybe something terrible is waiting up ahead to swallow us. I tried to shake my head and drive the thoughts out of my mind. I wonder if she's out walking somewhere again tonight. I'm not sure. What's she doing with an old woman in a dark hallway at that hour anyway? Where did she come from and where did she go? Where did she come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Also, if I did run into her again, what should I do? Punch her! Ideally, I'd get my phone back without causing too much of a fuss, but I couldn't imagine things would be that easy. Punch her. For now, I'd thought of an escape route, but it still might be dangerous. Hey, Taku, look at that! We'd reached the end of the staircase. There was a cold steel door in front of us. There were no further stairs to go down. Past this door should be the hallway where I dropped my phone. I've come this far already. I told myself that there was no time for second thoughts and nodded at Serica and Ito. Then I put my hand on the cold doorknob. Also, I mean, what are the chances that they're still in the hospital? Maybe because of the old lady, but like, I dropped my phone in the hospital. We're going to retrace our steps and find the people who took my phone that are now probably long gone. Obviously, they're not long gone, but I mean, like, why would that be your first thought? I'm going to go back to where I think I left it, but you know you were in a hospital, you dropped it, you saw them pick it up. Why? I mean, okay, normal people would be like, all right, let me go and ask at the lost and found. I dropped my phone and maybe someone brought it there. But like, you know that they're there. I don't trust them and they're evil and oh my God. Like, so why would you think they're just standing there with your phone? Oh, wait, we were just waiting for you to come back. They've just been frozen for like 2 days waiting for you. Like, I mean, I guess it's like, this is the place to start, but it just seems weird. And they'll be here, which is even weirder, but fortunately, it wasn't locked either. I looked down the hallway as I listened to the loud creaking of the hinges. Yep, sounds like the door. Anyway. There's no one here, huh? Yeah. Oh, that's Ito. Yeah. Sarah and Ito both looked a little relieved. Damn it, I was hoping they were standing there waiting. There was no one in the hallway at all. We slipped past the open doorway and proceeded down the hallway, being careful not to make any noise. Maybe it was my imagination, but the air seemed more stale here than it did upstairs. Identical doors stretched out on either side, and there was no way to know what was in each room. The letters on the plates were too small to read in the dim light unless you squinted. I got close to one to try and read it when... Hey, someone's coming! Sarah and I jumped at Ito's words. I listened carefully, and sure enough, from behind I heard... the slowest... dunk-dunk, dunk-dunk, dunk-dunk. Very slow footsteps. Okay, the funniest thing about this is They are very slow footsteps, but even when they're like, there's nurses walking down the hall, it's always step, 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 step. It's like the heel toe, but it's like step, 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 step. That's the like who walks that slow like normal? Step, 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 step. It always sounds slow. Even us walking down the stairs, I'm like, are we creeping? Probably, but and not just one pair. They were slow, as if only taking one step at a time. I knew those footsteps. How can you... What? Those footsteps were... It's them! He jumps out and it's a fucking nurse. Well, we need to hide somewhere. But where? The door to the emergency exit was the same way the footsteps were coming from. There was no time to get back there now.
Hey, what is that?
I'm just kidding. I was being the old lady. This door's open! I slid inside the door directly next to us. Just before I did, though, I saw the horrible words written on the plate next to the door. Morgue? What is this place? A locker room? It's the fucking morgue. The walls were covered in steel cabinets. They were just big enough for someone to lie down in. This place was... Oh, I know! Maybe we can hide inside these! Oh god, don't do it. Sarah could put her hands on one of the cabinet doors. I wouldn't do it. Hey, wait! The words on the plate had read... Autopsy room. Oh, okay, well, you know. It's just as bad. Which meant that what was inside was... No, oh no way, that's... Watabe's body. I closed my eyes, imagining what I was about to see inside. What's wrong, Daku? Huh? I opened my eyes when she spoke and saw there was no one, no, nothing inside. This is a strange locker, huh? It's like cold in here. And there's a table. Oh, no, wait. This isn't a locker. It's like this girl's never watched fucking TV and seen any TV show where they've ever shown like fucking like a morgue in one of these drawers. Like, I've never been to one. I've never been to a real morgue, but I've seen enough of these on goddamn TV and in movies to know if I walked in that room and be like, oh, fuck, there's bodies in there, ain't there? You've seen enough horror games where they're in, like, scary haunted hospital. Like, come on. This girl's never watched shit. I whispered to her and she went pale. Ito must have figured it out too, because so did he. No way am I hiding in here. Let's find someplace else. Yeah. Footsteps were still approaching from down the hallway. Slowest footsteps ever. We're like, okay. Do we have time to leave? We have a discussion about it. We walk out, walk across the hall. You know what? Maybe the morgue was better. I don't know, guys. 3-hour-long conversation and they're still coming. This is a long-ass hallway or they walk slow. And for some reason, it felt like they were coming toward this room. You're kidding me. Why would they be coming to the autopsy room? This wasn't a place that anyone would ordinarily choose to visit. Ito was panicking too. Miyashiro, what do we do? They're coming this way. They're coming down the hallway. We went into a door in the hallway. It's not the end of the hallway. Of course they're going to come this way. They're going to walk past us. I listened carefully again. There was no doubt. The footsteps were definitely coming this way. It's 3 against an old lady and a little girl. I think we can take them. But I didn't see any place in the room we could hide. Except one. Damn it. Come on, we have to hide in here. The door's not going to open from the inside. We're going to die. Sarika was shaking a little, but she put her hand on one of the cabinet doors. You idiot, not there. We can hide somewhere else. Where else? I looked around and didn't see any other place in the room where the 3 of us could hide. We need to hurry before they get here. I didn't have a choice. I had to do it. Okay. We're looking for them, though, to get my phone back. So why are we hiding? We should, like, jump out and punch them both in the face and be like, where the fuck's my phone, bitches? If the lamp on the cabinet was green, did that mean it was empty? Or did it mean the opposite? I felt all the hairs on my neck stand on end, but still I managed to pull open a door. Thankfully, there was nothing inside. Yeah, but how clean are those? Sarika was normally a ditz, but at times like this, she was really courageous. Her whole body was shaken, but she managed to jump in first. Taku, there's room for one more in here. Huh? I'm scared to be on my own. Please? She grabbed my hand from inside. She was right. Since Erica was so small, there was room for another person in here. How cramped is that going to be when you get trapped and die? Ito, sorry, but 3 people can't fit in here. You take the next one. What? I can't let Onoe be by herself. I don't want to be alone in a place like this either. And then the footsteps outside stopped. Just as I expected, they stopped right outside this door. I felt a terror like someone was pointing a cold knife at my back.
Wait a moment, please. I'll open the door.
I don't remember her voice, and we just did it earlier. I heard a voice outside.
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
Yeah, whatever. There's no time. Just get in, Ito! Huh? No, wait! Don't! I ignored Ito and yanked open the door next to mine. And then I pushed him headfirst. Pushed him in headfirst. Just hurry! Ito held his hands over his mouth to desperately stifle a scream. As soon as he was all the way inside, I shut the door. But we do not have time for this. It'd be really bad if it was closed all the way, so I left him a little gap. Oh, they're just gonna close the doors on us. And then I crouched inside and slid next to Serica. Okay, I'm shutting it. Okay. You pushed Ito in one. There's a body in there! I brought the door close, leaving just enough of a gap that it couldn't be seen from the outside. Paper in the lawn. The inside of the cabinet was hard and cold. It made sense, since no one who was in here would ever complain. Well, since I was pushed up against Serica, parts of my body that were touching hers felt strangely warm. But we didn't have time to enjoy each other's warmth. Don't we? Where's our positive-negative scenario? I looked outside, holding my breath to make as little noise as possible. Just a moment later, they came inside. There were 5 or 6 of them. I was sure it would be all old people, but some of them were middle-aged or young men. If it was just old people, I was planning on stealing it by force if I had to, but that was impossible now. Oh, but what were they doing in a place like this? And then I started to wonder again. A sudden horrible fantasy made my whole body shiver. Were they already dead, and this was where they slept? That was impossible. This wasn't a horror movie or something, right? You didn't give me that chance, because, that would have been a perfect, negative delusion. I tried to tell myself I was being silly, but I could tell I was shaking. Serica was probably no different. She was clinging to me like a little child.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
And then I remembered. This was a lot like what happened before, when the 2 of us had seen that terrifying sight as children. At some point, I'd started holding her back. It's okay. I'm here. It'll be just fine. I squinted into the darkness. I could see several shadows moving about, but the thing is that girl that we saw, we think that's, Amy, right? Because we snuck into the hospital to find the urban legend that was Amy. And she had pink hair. And Serica kind of has pink hair. I'm just saying. Serica is Amy. And she's trying to kill us. I don't know. It's her sister. Anyway, I could see several shadows moving about. Strange men and... One of them was clearly different than the others, the little girl. That small girl. It's her. She slowly walked across the room, straight toward where we were hiding. Did she find us? She's going to push the door closed. My heart started to pound faster. But it seemed that wasn't the case. The men followed her across my field of vision and stopped in a corner in front of an empty wall. What are they doing? She opened what looked like a small breaker box on the wall. You know, those things with a yellow warning sign and black or red text that reads, "Danger! High voltage!" Oh god, she's turning the AC down. And then she took something out of her pocket and slid it inside the box. Well, she clearly doesn't have powers or she would know we were here. There was a loud noise on the other side of the wall. Huh? The girl shut the door to the breaker box, then put her hand on the wall and slid it to the side. Oh my god. Secret elevator. The wall opened easily as if it was weightless. It must have been some kind of sliding door. She led the men inside and vanished. Hey, my phone's in the box. The wall closed and the dissection room was quiet again. A secret door? That was scary, huh? Yeah, we're okay now. I mean, instead of hiding in there, you could have all just made out with each other. Oh, we snuck into the hospital because we like group sex and autopsy rooms. We have weird kinks. But then we'd probably get arrested and Shinjo would be like, are you fucking okay? We'd be like, no, we had to lie because we snuck back. And we'd have to tell him, but he'd be like, yeah, okay. And we'd probably get a one-way ticket to the psych ward. But hey, maybe we get a room with some nice bloody sumo stickers on the wall. I don't know. I waited for a while to make sure she wasn't coming back, then finally opened the cabinet door. There's just one person standing there staring at you like, the hell? Sarika and I crawled out. Phew. I took a deep breath of air into my lungs. This place is like some kind of secret base. Yeah. Why would they build a huge mechanism like this? What's going on at this hospital? Not that hospital, this one. And what was on the other side of that wall? Hey, Ito, it's safe to come out. I knocked softly on the door of Ito's cabinet. Huh? Shin? Ito leapt out of the cabinet. His face was pale and his hand was over his mouth. Shh, be quiet. He crouched down to the ground, trying his best not to scream. It was only then I realized that the cabinet I'd stuffed Ito in was already occupied. I could see that the lamp above the door was red. I hadn't had time to check, but still, that was a horrible thing to do to someone. I only was joking. Oh. I was joking, and you shoved poor Ito in with a dead body. But he's got balls of steel, yo, because he stayed in that. Shin, are you okay? Sorry, it was an emergency. If it wasn't an emergency, you'd be dead by now, asshole. Really, I'm sorry. Forget it. Let's go. Come on. Ito staggered to his feet. This poor boy. Oh my god. But then he collapsed onto the floor. Understandable. I waited for him to calm down and then opened the door to the breaker box like the girl had. The secret door? Yeah. I looked deep inside the box. There was an RFID scanner like the ones they used at train turnstiles inside. Well, we can't open this without the card. That wasn't good. What should we do now? Punch the box. Just punch everything. That's always the answer, right? I hadn't anticipated this. But then Sarika, who had been fiddling around with different parts of the wall, let out a small cry. What is it? It doesn't look like this was shut right. What? She has magical door opening abilities. Don't even with me. She's like, it doesn't shut right. And then she's opening door. Every time we're with her, doors magically unlock. Okay. Doors have magically been unlocking while she is with us. And like now the secret door, she's like, it's not shut right. Convenient. She is going to end up dead because she has magic door unlocking abilities. She's like, sight? Oh my god, like telekinesis? You know, where you can move objects. What? That's crazy. And she's like unlocking shit? I can, yeah, no, never heard of that. I'm just saying. And she's going to end up fucking dead because of it. She's going to end up dead and we're going to be like, and everyone's going to be, what? I'm going to be like, see? It's because she's the fucking one unlocking all the doors. Because we know our magic power is delusions. But anyway. Sarika pointed to her feet. The wall was set to slide upon rails on the floor, but some kind of cloth had gotten stuck and jammed them. So the door wasn't shut all the way. Convenient. I'm just saying. Ito, help me. Okay. Gotcha! Oh, it was gotcha. One of us said, the other one was gotcha. I don't know. The two of us yanked the door to the side. The two of us yanked the door to the side. Wow. We heard a loud clunk like something was unlocking, and then the wall started to slide open. Yeah, something was unlocking! Sarika's magic door locking abilities. Unlocking abilities, sorry. I bet she could. One of the men had dropped a handkerchief or something onto the rails. When Sarika pulled it off, the door began to move more freely. Did he know we were there and he put it there? Oh! I'm just saying. All that was left was to slide the door open. And beyond it was more stairs. I could see the stairs going down. So we're gonna like walk down the stairs into the like weird whatever the fuck room down there. There was a sub-basement below the hospital basement. The place was protected by very elaborate camouflage. And this place seems pretty dangerous.
What do we do, Taku?
We've come this far. I'm going down. They're both like, alright! Wow. To be honest, I was terrified at what I might find down there. But this was something I had to do no matter what. I mean, of course we knew we were going to go down, but still, bad idea. For just a moment, I thought of Kurisu. Well, if I die, she can't yell at me. I'm just saying.
Taku, please, stop this. Don't do anything else.
Oh no, wait, Ito, you guys can stay here. Hell no. Ito looked at the cabinets on the wall and moaned a little.
I'm going to. I have to protect you if you need it.
Besides, who's gonna unlock doors for you? What? Nothing! You mean I need to protect you? Which of us was shaking back there? I was not! Ito's like, it was you. We all looked at each other and nodded a little, then began to descend the staircase. Well, our friends are just as fucking crazy as we are, but good for us for having crazy friends. It's always nice to have friends that are just as crazy as you. As we went down, it got darker, and the air got heavier and more humid. Oh no, wait, you okay?
Yeah.
And after we'd gone down for a few minutes, Ito's like, what, you're not gonna fucking ask me? Because I am not okay. I was in the fucking thing with the dead body, you asshole, and now I'm going down here? We ran into a door. We'd probably gone down about a floor. I turned the knob and it opened easily. Maybe it hadn't been locked to begin with. Or Sarika's magic unlocking ability. Look. Until they tell us otherwise, I'm going with this. What is this place? It was dimly lit, musty. It was a dimly lit, musty-smelling hallway. It was clear that the place hadn't been abandoned. It was clear that the place hadn't been abandoned, and there wasn't a layer of dust everywhere. It even felt like it had been cleaned, and yet it's humid and gross, and it looked like. But it felt so old. There was a sense of desolation, as if no one had wanted to use this place for anything for a very long time. It had been like this since the hospital above us was built, and why is the little girl in this air? I knew it. Gah. The sides of my head started to hurt as the horrible memories came back. I was wondering if this is where we had ended up when we were kids.
Hey, Taku, is this?
Yeah. Sarika seemed to remember too. That's right. This was the place. I didn't know how we'd done it. But when we were kids, the two of us had snuck in here into the basement of AH Tokyo General Hospital. We were trying to investigate an urban legend about Amy. And then Sarika and I... We'd seen it. I tried to avoid thinking about it as much as I possibly could. But I'd failed. The memory would come back to me, then fade, and then come back again. As I'd grown up, I'd even tried to convince myself that I'd never seen anything at all. But I'd failed at that too. It was unreal, like something out of a nightmare. But something in my heart told me that it was real. And it was real after all. Yes, it was real. I was sure of it. Oh, she was trying to say help, I bet.
Help me.
She's got pink hair, I'm just saying.
Help me.
Taku, let's go! I don't like this place! Let's go! That's when we were kids. Huh? And what's gotten into you two? Ito realized that there was something wrong with Sarika and I and tried to pull us back up the stairs. But We couldn't do that. We've come this far. There were suddenly footsteps behind us. Huh? Oh. I could hear what sounded like the panting of a beast behind me. I could feel its warm, stinking breath on my neck. Something's there. I couldn't turn around. I wanted to fall to the ground in terror. But if I did that, I knew somehow that the thing behind me would attack. Taku! Suddenly I heard Sarika's thin, frail voice. She should have been right next to me, but for some reason I couldn't see her. Oh no, Help me! And then her voice cut off. And then there was the sound of something being crushed. And then the sound of what sounded like someone kneading a ball of meat. And mixed with it with the sound of snapping bones. This doesn't seem like a delusion because it doesn't have the things around it, but it also... Did we do too many negative delusions and now we're having... Because this... Is this real or is this in our head? We don't have the delusion filter like we usually do. Or like even when we had it back in Kurusu's room, there was like the red around it. This is... Ito turned around and suddenly froze with terror. Miyashiro, what is that? What the hell is that? No, you idiot, don't look. If you look, it'll kill you. So don't look. A bloody piece of meat fell to the ground at our feet. It was what used to be Sarika. Oh, okay. Ito screamed. I couldn't help myself. I turned around to look at what he was seeing. And what I saw was... Why does that look... It's wearing our school uniform. And it's got a lab coat, and it's got the same hair that Mio has. Why is it Kunasato with the mask on? I'm just looking at the back case. That is her fucking hair. So it's supposed to... Is it her? Is she a monster? Is she a monster? Interesting. I'm just saying, that's her uniform. Like, all of them, their uniforms look a little different. So, like, well, and she always has a lab coat. But, like, Sarika and Nono seems to look the same. Like, they have the collar and everything like that, but they have, like a bow tie bow, not like a tie. And then she's got a tie. Kazuki has a tie, but Kazuki's also wearing a turtleneck. But, like, okay, Sarika and Nono have the same kind of look. But, like, nobody else has hair like that in a tie. So that's Kunasato. What the fuck? Is this a delusion, or is Kunasato a monster? It's kind of intriguing now, huh? Anyway. It was standing there moaning in a voice that was filled with hatred and pain. If they didn't want it to be, like, obvious, they shouldn't have put her in the school uniform with the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. What was that? What the hell was that? Well, see, now there's music. I don't know if you can hear it because I'm going to turn it down. A giant woman with a head like a sumo sticker? It was almost like a bad joke. I wanted to laugh. This hilarious-looking monster was going to be what killed me? What the hell kind of death was that? That's right. Laugh. Laugh. If you laugh, that thing isn't scary at all. The giant woman's hand stretched out for me. Okay, so this was a delusion. As I moaned in pain, its arms moved in to crush me. And suddenly my vision went black. I couldn't see anything. Then I realized it had probably crushed my eyes. That hilarious-looking sumo sticker woman had crushed my eyes. I was going to be torn apart like Sarika and killed. It was the funniest thing in the world. Could you even imagine anything stupider? I mean, you just imagined it clearly. Hey, what are you doing? Suddenly I heard a sharp voice next to me. It's probably Sarika. Something moved over my mouth to stop me from laughing. Yeah, okay. Well, that was totally a delusion. But it's weird because it didn't have the delusion filter. It's like all of us. Well, we had that like ching, like the where we were like we had the almost right before we had the flashback moment. You know, where he was like, "Wait, this place is," and then we were talking to Sarika, and then all of a sudden that happened, and you're like, "If that's a delusion, no, it was absolutely a delusion." Kind of fun. The delusions don't tell you they're delusions now, and you're like, "Is this real this time?" I mean, I told you Sarika was gonna die. I believe 100% she will, but I just did not believe this. I was like, really? Seems like it just seemed like it came out of nowhere. It was all of a sudden like there's something breathing down my neck and Sarika's dead, and then all of a sudden it's Kunasato and a mat. Wait, what? But it makes me wonder though. We had a delusion of Kunasato, but Kunasato basically did admit that she wants to find the person who's killing all these people, but she would absolutely kill us too. You know what I mean? Because she hates those of us with psychic powers. So, like, someone with psychic powers killed her mom or some shit. I don't know. I'm just guessing she got some kind of, like, weird traumatic sob story like that. But I think it's interesting that our delusion there was Kunasato. It's absolutely her. So I'm wondering, like, is that our psychic, like, delusion is like she's going to try to kill us? But I don't think she's the killer because she's trying to investigate it. But we know that she's hostile and would absolutely kill us. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, I was grabbed from behind, and thin but powerful arms were wrapped around my neck. It hurt. I couldn't breathe. Stay quiet. Don't make any more loud noises. If you promise to stay quiet, I'll let you go. Otherwise, I'll choke you until you pass out. I nodded as hard as I could. And then the hands around my neck relaxed, and it became much easier to breathe. My vision came back at the same time. Whoever had grabbed me had covered my eyes as well as my mouth. They hadn't been crushed after all. Where's that woman? Where's that monster? Calm down, I said! Ugh. I doubled over in pain as she punched me in the stomach. I could feel stomach acid coming up my throat and burning it. The pain made my head feel much clearer. When I looked up, I didn't see a monster with the head of a sumo sticker anymore. Just a dark, musty hallway. Huh? What? Was that just a hallucination? Taku? Are you okay? Oh, no, wait. Ito? What did I... Yeah, it's some kind of fit, and then you started to yell. We almost panicked too, and then Kunasato came to help us. Oh. Kunasato? Kunasato, wasn't that... Oh, right. The girl who was with Shinjo? Oh, she was the woman. I figured we heard woman, and I thought maybe it was we were hearing Sarika. So, okay, what... Okay, now that explains why we were like, we flipped out and we thought it was her in the sumo stick because we were hallucinating, but we saw her. Because it was her. She was there. Okay, that makes a little more sense. But I was like, okay, he was trying to like, what are you doing? It's her with the mask on. Because she was standing right there. Okay. Goddamn amateurs. What are you even doing in a place like this? Yeah, I remembered that cold voice. I looked back at the speaker. Okay, so I read that all wrong, which I'm sorry about, but whatever. I just figured that, like, someone yelling at us, like, oh my god, what's wrong with you, was Sarika, because that was all fake. Not realizing that Kunasato would actually be there, but it does make sense that we were like, you're the one with the sumo head! Okay. Yeah, that's her. It doesn't look like someone brought you here, which means... Did you sneak in here? How? How? Even we had a hell of a time getting the key to this place. So how did you get in here? The door? Sure, we had a bit of a bad time in the autopsy room, but it hadn't really been hard to get here. None of the doors had been locked. We just opened the door. When I told her that, Kunasato glared at us with suspicious eyes. Kunasato? Whatever. Anyway, you're in the way. Go home. Come on, you can't do that to us. I appreciate you saving us, but you can't just... The next instant, Kunasato had closed the gap between Ito and herself and started strangling him. I told you not to make noise. Did you not hear me? Ito nodded, tears coming out of his eyes. I could understand why. I didn't know how she could store so much power in her tiny body, but I just felt it for myself. Ito rubbed his throat in pain as she let him go. That's great. I'll say it again. You're in the way. Now go. Her voice was intimidating enough that I almost obeyed, but we come here for a reason. And I'm telling you my phone back. Was that a mirror? Or were there two people? Because, like, I'd seen, like, when we do that, sometimes it looks like the face moves, but I thought, okay, it's just because our vision. But, like, in that one, when you looked at her feet, there were feet, like, sort of behind her. So it was either another girl in a chair, or there was a mirror there. I don't know. This place had something to do with our past. If I could, I wanted to find out what happened then. Maybe we could be rid of the nightmare that had been making us suffer for so long. So even though she scared me, I needed to tell her straight. We're here because we have something we have to do. We can't just go home. We can't go home just because you tell us to. Oh no way. That was what I was trying to say. Onoe. You're Onoe. Sarika. Yes, that's right. Huh. What is it? Nothing. Just leave. I know it's dangerous, but we have to... Who said I was worried about you? Huh? I'm here for my own reasons. I don't want you screwing up and keeping me from doing what I came here to do. How cold. Why are you here, then? It's got nothing to do with you. Oh, I beg to differ. She turned around and started to walk away. Fine. We'll do what we want, then. We will! What? She turned around and stared at us. Her glare was like a fierce panther's. I swallowed my words, but Sarika didn't. It's 3 against 1. Somebody punch her. Punch her in the boob, Sarika. We're not gonna leave if you won't even tell us why. You. Why don't you leave, bitch? Come on, Taku, Shin. Let's hurry and get that phone back. Yeah. Man, women are strong when it counts, huh? Ito whispered in my ear, we're strong all the time, bitch. Don't mess with her. Fine. Follow me, then. Just do what I tell you, okay? Huh? Is that all right? Ito had become very polite toward her after she strangled him. Ito just discovered a kink he didn't know he had. There's no time, and it's taken a lot of careful investigation to get this far. I don't want you getting found or causing a fuss and then ruining everything. Her arrogant manner was almost enough to make me talk back to her, but then I realized something. If she'd done a lot of careful investigation, that meant she had information that we didn't. So wouldn't it be better to pretend to obey for now? And then in the end, we could use you. We're done talking. Follow me along the wall. No loud noises or talking. She looked down the hallway, then moved over to the wall. And then she started to move, quickly and quietly. I made eye contact with Ito and Sarika, and then followed her. We should probably mention that a bunch of people already came down here, so, we're not alone. The further down the hallway we went, the darker it got. The lights were sporadically placed, and half of them were burnt out. You had to look carefully to see more than a few meters ahead. The only things I had to guide me were the black-haired girl in front of me and the wall that I was touching with my hand. The wall hadn't been repaired for a long time. In some places, the paint had fallen off, and in parts, the steel beams underneath were exposed. This place must have been built a long, long time ago. We walked through the underground labyrinth as quietly as we could. None of my five senses were of any use to me now, and I had no idea where I was or how I'd gotten there. But Kunisada seemed to know exactly where she was going. Looking back, maybe we were lucky to meet her. What's that? I had no idea how long we'd been walking. We finally came to a part of the hallway with a row of doors on the opposite wall. Doors were made of steel and looked very strong. On the upper part of each was what looked like a number plate. There were tiny windows on the doors, but they had thick bars on them. They looked like the solitary confinement cells I'd seen on a TV show once. Wow. Are there people in here? No, no way. The space beyond the bars was pitch black, and I couldn't tell if there was anything inside. That's kind of creepy. Shut up and keep walking. Sorry. Choke me again. Huh! Ito quickly apologized, but Kunasato turned around, walked up to him, and wrapped her hand around his throat again. Again? I'm not playing around here. You're gonna get killed. Ito nodded again and again until she finally glared at him one last time and let him go. Again, she is giving him a kink he didn't know he had. Phew. He put his hand to his throat and moaned a little. I bet he did. It was obvious that Kunisada wasn't messing around. Maybe this place was more dangerous than I thought. I think she's the danger here. Suddenly I heard the sound of someone pounding the door from the inside. Someone was inside? Taku! What the hell's going on? Be quiet. Don't make a fuss. But... We almost screamed, but when we saw Kunisato's glare, we quickly put our hands over our mouths. What the hell was that voice? Oh, no. No. Sarika tugged frantically at my arm. Then Ito grabbed onto me, too. I wanted to cling to someone, too, but there was no one for me to grab. Look, I can see eyes behind that door. What? CG? Eyeballs? Oh god, no, we just... Scary dark hallway. I looked over where Ito was pointing and tried to see for myself, but I didn't see anything. You're imagining it, man. No, I'm sure I saw them. Those were definitely eyes.
La la la.
Now there was singing. I could hear a girl singing in a tiny, barely audible voice. Creak, creak. An old woman was pushing an old baby carriage down the hallway toward us. She was the one singing. Oh, okay, that got creepy. You're like dark hall.
La la la.
Sarika and Ito cringed in terror. My heart was beating so fast and so loud that I could hear the sound echoing in my ears. Don't move. Get up close to the wall and stay put. She can't see us. But... Do it! Don't talk! Kunisada pushed her back up against the wall and stopped breathing. We did the same, our bodies shaking with fear as we moved.
You want me to sing some more, right?
Oh my god, it's actually a moving CG. Wow. It just rolled forward. Creak, creak. The sound of the creaking old carriage got closer and closer as the woman passed near us. Kunisada was right. Her eyes were hazy and out of focus, and she didn't seem to notice us. But she was only a meter away. That is so... It's creepier because it's a moving CG. Like, I'm...
La la la.
Slowly. Slowly. She sang as she pushed the carriage right past us. Ito was so terrified his body started to spasm. He gave a small cry. Ito was gonna get us killed.
La la.
The woman stopped right in front of us and slowly turned around. Her empty eyes stared at us. Then slowly, jerkily, like a broken machine, she tilted her head. We clung to the wall and held our breath, unable to move a muscle. We were too scared to even close our eyes. I couldn't take any more. I wanted out. I wanted to get away from here. If I stayed here another minute, I was going to go crazy. The woman stared at us for what felt like hours. But then she looked forward once more as if nothing had happened and started to walk again.
La la la.
They just let the crazies walk around down here? We almost collapsed to the ground in relief. I couldn't take my eyes off of her as she disappeared into the darkness. Do you understand what kind of place you're in now? Even as we'd been almost crushed by the terror, Kunasato had been completely calm. I thought the psych ward was upstairs. I don't care if you want to go home. It's too late now. That room is what we're here for. Kunasato moved away from the wall and stared straight in front of us. That room? I followed her gaze to a pair of double doors in the darkness. They were different than the others. They looked like the doors to a normal lab. Come on, don't fall behind. Kunasato headed toward the doors, seeming completely unafraid. Sarika's legs were shaking too much for her to move, so Ito and I helped her as we followed. When we got to the door, Kunasato took out what looked like a key card from her skirt pocket. This door had a modern electronic lock, unlike the others we'd seen so far. She put the keycard up to the reader and the door swung open silently. She disappeared into the room and we quickly followed. But we're going to stop here because we're over time. I'm sorry. I have to cock block a little bit. We are over time and we can't keep going in the terrifying part and there's really no good place to end, so. Yeah. This game is really good at the creep factor. Like, you're like, what? No, this is a little spooky. Like, the spooky and the weird. Like, the delusion seemed like a delusion. You were like, did Sarika really get eaten? Because that seemed, wait, what? But, like, the rest of this, you're like, no, this is kind of disturbing. Like, it's a good spooky, like, ooh. But anyway.
What you doing, buddy? Hey.
All right, so I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.